Okay, this is Jim and Carolyn Latta's house, and this was just finished. And this was a very challenging project because right through here there was a wall with the plumbing pipe coming down from upstairs, so that all had to come out. And the room was pretty well just totally dismantled. And then, you know, we started from there. But you can see by the space constraints that we really tried to use to give them as much possible space as possible in here, and including bringing the staircase in here at an angle like this, and that way it puts them into the middle of the kitchen, not walking down a hallway like it used to do right through here. And we were able to get a cabinet in here and a cabinet over here, and then we even took advantage of these drawers spaces here to use extra space in storage. So this worked out real well. And then over here, this was an issue with this, so we got a microwave in here, and this has the opening and closing microwave, which is a great thing because you can lift things out and put them right onto the counters. And that's a real safety issue, you know, when you have the microwaves above, like on stoves where you have it above. That's not good because as you pull that stuff out of the microwave, it's really susceptible to spilling on top of you, and that's, you know, really hot stuff. So, and over here, this is a soapstone sink with the grooves, the drain grooves in it, and this is a real nice, that fits really appropriately with this house. And we did this has got the little subway tile on for the back. And this kitchen, this fridge was in this kitchen, and it was just too much loss of space, so we moved the fridge back into the kind of the mudroom where you come in from the back. And that just made all the difference in the world, along with changing the angle on these stairs. And all these cabinets are the design that uses the no glue and screws. They're all interlocked together, which would be this little detail here. Zach, if you can kind of get that underneath, go down a little maybe, so you can see up into it. And so they're all interlocking pieces. And so there's no glue and screws holding the cabinets together. And we do the very heavy doors. These are 5/4 thick doors, and as you can see on the inside, the sawtooth shelf adjusters, and how nice they look with glassware and everything in them like that. And we do the wood pin hinges. This is the hinge right here, and it's pinned into the bottom and top, and this is a very historic old detail, old-fashioned detail, and it just has been very successful for us, and this whole cabinet system. But it looks very historic, but it is really a great way to build cabinets. And and this is again all soapstone counters in here, and we use, this is, you know, again, a space requirement here. So these are 15-inch deep drawers here, and they have the soft close on the last little bit. And and then in the bathroom here, there's a little powder room over here off of the kitchen, and this got redone also. And you can see it's a real tight space, but a lot of good use of space here. So I think that pretty much talks about it, and maybe Zach, get a shot over here of these uppers above the stove too. Over here we also really love these dishwashers. These are the Fisher Pickel. dishwashers, and they're really great in tight spaces too, because you can see when you pull out the drawer, if you fold down a dishwasher and it goes all the way to the floor, it almost makes this really difficult to use in a tight space like this. But with these drawer dishwashers, it's really great because it takes minimal room coming out, and then you can fill both drawers. Yeah, we think these are great. And here's a little cabinet that, again, using all the space possible. This is opens up for trays and things like that. And it has a push button. And the use of drawers wherever we can. That is a good way to use the space as well as possible. Use it all. So, and Carolyn has done that very well. So that is our little tour of Jim and Carolyn Latta's house, and we hope you liked it. And we're going to start doing more of these to show the houses, so you can really get a feel of it in space and dimension. A lot of houses have small kitchens, especially the older houses. And we like working with that because we can use the space very well, and like these little drawers, and using every bit of space. So that's it. I wanted to mention one more thing that I forgot about. On the end of this, when we have tight spaces and stuff like that, this was an excellent spot because the fridge is back and we can open this up, and there's a lot of good storage even in the end of this compartment. So every time that we try to find space like this, and it makes it creative too. People like that kind of thing, and I do too. It's like boat design. You got to find every square inch of use that you can out of space. So, yeah, so that was my last little statement. Okay, I've mentioned Jim and Carolyn Latta as I was walking around, but here is Jim and Carolyn Latta, and I just wanted you to meet them and to see how they relate to this kitchen, and maybe ask them a question about how the process was. And I know it was very frustratingly long because of the Jim. There was a big pipe that went right through the kitchen here, and that had to be moved. So the kitchen literally had to be completely gutted, and then it had to come back. And so we're at the end of that project, and we're sort of still smiling, aren't we?
We definitely are. I mean, the one thing when we first started this process is we had no idea what to do, and we read in a magazine that you should find one thing you like. And so I asked my husband what was the one thing, and he said soapstone. And I thought, okay. So I Googled soapstone and finally found Mike, and we went out, fell in love with the soapstone, and then just happened to ask the amazing question, who made those cabinets? And that took us out the road. But it's all come together. I love being in this kitchen. I love the colors. I love the way the light floor bounces against the darkness of the soapstone. And yet the gray brings it all together. It's a happy place to be now with the blues and the grays. And I thought after 6 months I'd forgotten how to cook, but I haven't.
Good. and Jim's shirt, you can see he matches very well with the blue, theme here. So yeah.
Well, the blue of the shirt doesn't match my mood.
Yeah.
It was a major project, much more so than I think even we realized. I knew that we were going to have to do a lot of work, but we ended up basically replumbing the house. for all practical purposes,
Yeah.
because all the water
Yeah.
for the second floor came through here.
Yeah.
It was a major job, but we've been very lucky with good tradespeople and good contractor. Mike, I think, really worked hard to get a terrific plan for this kitchen. And I had my doubts at first when I saw it. I wasn't sure how it was going to work with this kind of seemingly confined space, this U space,
Yeah.
to work. But it's really a nice working arrangement. So
I'm laughing because our dog.
our dog is now
The dog-
attacking the photographer. But anyway,
The dog likes the kitchen too.
Yeah.
it's been a long process, but it's been very rewarding ultimately.
I'm getting used to living with drawers, but I found that I love it, and I particularly think that Mike's use of the glass
Yeah.
just shows off the dishes, and it's I love this where you can open. I have all my trays. I love the flow, and the only thing that I can say that I'm still looking for is small stools. Everybody makes enormous stools, but so that's the only thing that I'm looking for.
We'll, if push comes to shove, we can make the stools too. So
But
yeah.
it's
Here, sit down.
I
Sit down
think
here. Yeah.
I
wanna
think
show everybody how you
this
sit
is
here.
probably the nicest, funnest feature
Yeah.
of the thing. Pippi,
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Here.
Is,
Michael.
Let me get back. And
Because
yeah, Pippi, you want to
this-
sit down there?
this, did you open this up?
I did, but go
Yeah.
ahead and do it.
I really thought this was kind of a crazy idea, but now it's just become a place for a whole lot of different things that I use. And as you can see now, the dog, Pippa, Pip, Kush, come here. This becomes Pippa's place all the time because she can see everything that's happening in the room. Yeah, I know. So we're ecstatic.
Yeah.
And we're even more ecstatic, as much ecstatic about the bathroom.
Good. And we're going to go up there next. Okay, good. Thank you very much.
No, it's hard to imagine how horrible this bathroom was. It was a cross between Joliet State Prison and Hugh Hefner.
You speak from experience, of course.
Yeah. When you came into the space, 85% of it was a sunken black plastic jacuzzi tub, which in 20 years we used twice. You came into the space and you edged your way very carefully into this space, and at the end had been a former closet, and that was where the shower was. Over here is a door to the porch. There's a lovely little porch there, but the only way to get to that porch was to sidle around the tub and do this and open the door. So we never used it. There was a horrible vanity here that had warped over time. So this room needed to be totally gutted. And we talked, Mike, about the fact that we made the decision with your help not to go for a tub at all, because we have a second bathroom that has a tub. So we wanted a way that you could go to the outdoor porch. We wanted 2 sinks because we needed.
Yes.
And we wanted a gorgeous shower, and because we're getting older, although you'd never know it,
right.
we wanted a shower that had the potential when we got older to have a bench. And we decided we wanted a toilet room. And with Mike's help, everything fell into place. I think you said, Mike, and you're going to have to correct me, that you weren't used to doing bathroom cabinets like
The
this.
drawers, on the drawers, and you can explain and show what happened over here. The drawers are a
I
great
had always
way.
thought that, you'd have a cabinet and you'd open it like this. So when you presented me with this, I was like, I don't know. But it's turned out wonderfully well. This is my favorite surprise. This space is where, of course, the plumbing has to come, and yet it becomes a wonderful little storage space. These are great there's another one just like this. And this is what I've dreamed of, is there's the makeup on both sides. Jim stands here, I stand here, we can be in the same space, but not infringe on each other. It's such a welcoming space now. The dark floor, picking up the dark soapstone, and the soft colors. It's a place where you want to come. I find that every night I just breathe a sigh of contentment. When I come out of the shower, we had a lot of work to know whether or not we wanted to have a ceiling tiled, and I'm so glad we did that as well. I'm glad we went with the medicine chests. I'm glad Mike kept at us to stay true to the period, because I think the whole room actually works.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it works better than it did before, that's for sure. We got rid of that god-awful soft Mexican yellow, terrible yellow tile.
Yeah.
Which covered everything.
Are just gorgeous, just beautiful. And I think that the shower we will enjoy for
it's a great shower.
Many, many years to come. Scott did a great job too. And this was not an easy room because the floor slopes and no walls are straight.
Yeah, I
think you can't really tell.
Terrific.
It's a classic old house,
yeah.
And that's one of the things that was a big problem throughout this whole procedure is, what do you fix and what don't you fix?
Yeah.
And I think we made some good compromises on that.
And Mike showed us, we wanted a door to the toilet room, and he advised us to keep with the style of the door of the house. And then I guess you, Jim, came up with the frosted glass, but again, it doesn't make you feel like you're in prison when you're in there. You actually have a feeling of space. And we have behind the door, ye old. So I'm happy.
Good.
See my smile?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah, that is the eventual goal.
Yeah, it seems like everything we've been collecting, the art and everything, just suddenly came into place.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have a nice spot to put it now, whereas before it was always, I find that true when I'm working on my own house, is that if you do something, then it triggers you to go back and start doing, even just decorating a little differently and using the stuff better. So it's, yeah.